too much information. It's just, is this something I want to be sharing? Oh. I really enjoyed talking about food for our very first homesteading step-by-step series, and you guys really loved that video, and it was a really hard one to follow up on because a lot of the time when we think of homesteading, we think of the food that we're growing or producing for ourselves. But a big part of being sustainable and moving towards homesteading is also other things like the cleaning products we're using, beauty products that we put on our skin, and so much more. And if right now you're sitting at home wondering how you can get started, then this is going to be the video for you, because these are the things that I started doing for our lifestyle while we were still living in the suburbs. Come on, cuddle up then. Gotta cuddle up, I know. And then when I finally found a sous vide, I was so excited because it was the first deodorant that actually please hold for wind. Are you scared? Does that scare you? Come lay down. It's not scary. It's not scary. It's just windy. Feels like a very strange thing to talk about on camera, which is probably why people don't talk about it. But Eris, you can't just sit in front of my camera, bud. Come on. Oh my God, wind. We wanted to film a video, but it's a bit chilly, so we've cuddled up, got ourselves a little blanket in the sunshine, and we're ready. Yep, it's true. You don't need animals and you don't need a farm nor a rural property to start homesteading. You can probably do it right now, and the easiest change you can start making is to your beauty products and the things you put onto your skin. Our skin is the largest organ on our body and absorbs everything that we put onto it. So all of your lotions, all of your makeup, everything that you put onto your skin is actually going right into your body as well. So if you wouldn't eat it, why are you putting it on your skin? And that's exactly the question that led me to start making changes in our lives around the things that we put onto our body, because I realized that a lot of what I put onto my body, one, I couldn't pronounce the ingredients, and two, I had no idea how it was made. And so therefore didn't know what the benefit of it for my skin was. And to be honest, there was no benefit. And there is so much wind, so I'm so sorry. Hold on. Now, unlike food, beauty products are not so linear and easy to replace. And a lot of the time, if you just go out and replace all of your beauty products, throw away your plastic toothbrushes, your lotions, your potions, and all your makeup, and buy brand new, you're not really being sustainable because you're creating more waste out in the world. The best thing you can do is actually use up all of the products that you have, and as soon as things start to break or you run out of things, that's when you make your replacements. And that's exactly what I started doing in our lifestyle. So when my moisturizer finished, I made my salve. When our toothbrushes were ready to be replaced, instead of replacing them with a plastic version, I went and found a bamboo version that could then be composted. Deodorant was probably the hardest thing for me to replace because although there are natural products out in the stores which don't have aluminium, which, by the way, if you're putting aluminium in such a sensitive area and your body has the ability to absorb that through your skin, it's really not a good thing to have in your body. So that's the first thing I would be trying to replace in my deodorants. But unfortunately, all of the natural alternatives left me smelling pretty bad. And I don't know about you, but the whole reason for putting deodorant on is to smell good. So it was a massive journey trying to find something that actually worked. So along with the deodorant, I suggest that the first step that you take with each of your different products is realize what exactly is in them. And if they've got chemicals that you can't pronounce or don't understand, make that your first priority in what you should change and what you should move away from. Of course, buying completely natural, organic skincare products is really expensive, and I personally don't use a lot of makeup anymore. I try my best not to dye my hair, although that is something that, you know, the natural alternative is henna hair dye, and I've tried it and it's left my hair feeling really dry and coarse and like sticky. And I wasn't a fan. So there's going to be a lot of trial and error in this, and sometimes you might end up wasting your money having to go through the cycle of using that product and then looking for something new. And I just highly encourage you to just try, because the best thing you can do for your skin is to ditch those chemicals, and you're going to thank yourself in the long run. So because I can't really tell you so much the steps that we took, because, you know, it is all about what you use up and then what you need next, I can kind of give you an idea of the sort of things that we did start to change in our beauty regime, and the things that you might go and have a look at if that's something you want to be doing. So one of the first things we changed is our toothpaste. So instead of using like the whitening toothpaste and all the other kinds that do all kinds of interesting things to your teeth and then you swallow that, we started finding more natural products. So there was ones where they used bicarb soda instead of any other kinds of chemicals. I can't remember the brand, but it's like they have a lemon scented one, and then they've just got a minty one too, but it's really good. I definitely want to try make more of our beauty products in the future, like have a go at making deodorant, have a go at making toothpaste, but of course that's something that requires a lot of time that I don't have right now. And so the next best thing that I can do is just find products that I know have the qualities that I want in them. Moisturizer is another really good one that you can replace as well, whether you replace it with salves that are really good for itchy skin, but also just for really healing qualities. I did mention before hair dye. That's something that I'm still on a journey to figure out. For now, I'm just embracing aging and just what my hair looks like as time changes, because I'm not a fan of henna. Maybe I'll try it again, maybe not, we'll see. Shampoo. So shampoo is probably the next thing on my list to try and replace. I recently bought shampoo bars instead of plastic packaging. I'm gonna try transform the shampoo bar into a liquid shampoo in the same method that I do with our soap. If you didn't know, I have a video on our channel. It's one of our earlier ones, so please don't laugh at me because I was probably still learning how to be a good YouTuber. But essentially I take bars of natural soap, I grate them into a pot, I put in water and I let that all dissolve. And then the next day I blend it with an immersion blender and it turns into soap, and it's really fantastic. If you get the ratio right, it's really good. If you don't, like sometimes I do, sometimes I overwater it, then it's not as soapy as you would want it to be. But again, easy fix is just to add some more soap and dissolve it again. So yeah, that'll be the next thing that I'm going to be working on for ourselves. I almost forgot to include clothes. One of the main sources of unsustainability in our society, not only because of the fabrics and how they're produced, but also the impact that it has when it touches your skin. So if you've ever experienced itching or discomfort from wearing certain types of materials and clothes, even the increased sweating during summer when you wear something like polyester, which poly is plastic. One of the biggest changes that I made early on for myself, and then Sam took on the same journey, is switching from new fashion, things that you would find in stores, and instead going and replacing it with secondhand clothing. At first we started to just buy secondhand clothing and not really think about the materials, but over time, as I started to learn that different materials can either be natural or unnatural and impact our skin, I started looking at the labels of the different clothes that I was buying and only purchasing and keeping hemp, bamboo, wool, cotton are the 4 different material types that I look, and you literally just look at the tag. And so now I'm at a point where I've been able to, over time, replace all my clothes as I naturally would, but I'm now finally satisfied with all the clothes that I have in my wardrobe. They're exactly the style that I like. I know that they're secondhand and I haven't had to spend a fortune in buying them, and they're also a material that is really kind and friendly to my skin, something that I'm happy to touch every single day. So that's probably a step that is worth taking nice and early on. And it's not a hard step to take. Also, the clothes that I find in op shops are just unbelievably beautiful and unique, and I love it. I love it. Now, don't you worry, I'm not going to leave you without some recipes for this video. So down below, I'm going to link the video on how I liquefy our soap. And in the next few clips, I'm going to show you guys how I make our calendula salve, which we use as a moisturizer. We also use it on wounds, and anytime Sam gets like eczema or any itching. Even for the dogs, we've used it on Kobe, who's had this intense allergic reaction to the grasses around outside of us. And you may have noticed that his fur has been like completely ripped off his skin because that's how itchy he gets. And the calendula salve has been an absolute game changer for him. It's really helped to heal up his skin. It hasn't reduced the itching as such because he continues to go outside in those areas, but the wounds are just not nearly as intense when we use it. So definitely worth making. The next thing that I changed in our beauty, more so for myself, is feminine products. And if you're a guy, I completely understand if you want to tune out of this video now or skip forward to the outro, but this is something that I think isn't talked enough about when it comes to sustainability, or at least I wasn't aware of these things until I actually went into teaching, and then I went into a year 9 classroom during my placement, and they were talking about sex ed and like contraception as well as feminine products and all those things. And I was like, oh my God, this is something no one ever told me existed. And if I knew, I would have switched to it a lot sooner. So that's what I want to talk about next. And first and foremost, bloody wind. First and foremost is contraception. There's so many pill packets out there from the contraception that women have to take in order to stop ourselves from having babies when we're just doing our thing. And I want to be safe, but I also want to make sure that I'm reducing my impact and making a choice that's better for my body as well. So I found that the hormones in the pill just didn't work for me and my body, and I hated all of the plastic packaging, plus also remembering to take it. So when I found out about the IUD, I was super excited. So they have a hormone version, but then they also have a natural copper version. The copper version essentially creates like a hostile environment for sperm, and so that is the way that you can naturally be safe. This feels like a very strange thing to talk about on camera, which is probably why people don't talk about it, but it's natural. There are no hormones. It's a really simple thing that is done, and then it lasts 5 years, and in 5 years time you get it replaced with a new one. And yeah, it's been a game changer because I don't feel impacted by hormones being put into my body that clearly create an unnatural balance in my system. And I also know that I'm not throwing away little packets of plastic and foil mixed together every single month, or whatever else kind of contraceptions are out there. The other thing is feminine products. We are very fortunate to have such a wonderful burden on us as women, and it is something that creates a lot of waste because the products that are available for us, even organic cotton products, aren't that sustainable, because organic cotton is produced in a polyculture a lot of the time where you only have the cotton. But imagine the average woman, and I'm going to put up the statistics up here of how many products we get rid of a year, and that's a lot. And I don't need to tell you that that's a lot. So being able to replace all of that with just one product that, although is not made from a sustainable product, is something that is reusable. So, and that is a menstrual cup. It's made out of silicone. It's super easy to use. It seems daunting at first, but I think it's something that you get used to pretty easily. And I've never had any trouble using it, nor cleaning it when I need to when I'm out at school or somewhere else out in public. At times there are situations where I'm a bit like, oh, what do I do? But those are worth being able to ditch all of like the unsustainable and wasteful products, but also yuck, right? Too much information. It's just, is this something I want to be sharing? Oh, look, at the end of the day, we all deserve to feel beautiful in whatever way we do that. We all deserve to put onto our skin things that help to enhance our confidence, our self-esteem, and anything else that might bring for you. But for me personally, I am so glad that I have gone on this journey to improve the products that I am putting onto our bodies, and knowing that whatever I put onto my skin is not going to be something that I can't consume as well. Of course, I'm not going to go eat my deodorant or anything else, but I know that the product in there, if my skin absorbs it, is not going to be harmful for it. We went on this journey because we wanted to get to a point in our lives where we weren't burdened by illness or affected by things out of our control. Our beauty products and the food, things that we consume and put on our bodies, we have direct control over. And if the things we put on ourselves are less harmful and full of chemicals, we are more likely to stay healthy for longer. I really do wonder if the amount of illnesses and things going on in our world, things that are causing people to perish, whether that has a lot to do with exactly what's in the products we're consuming or putting on our bodies. Could be for a lot of different reasons, but if I can eliminate the factor of what I'm consuming, then I think that's a pretty good step to take. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It took me a while to record it just because I didn't know how to approach it, but I knew it was something that was worth talking about and sharing. So I hope it gave you some value. Please give me some feedback down below and suggest any other steps that you want us to cover on this journey. With that, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to go back inside where it's nice and warm and snuggle up with my dogs in front of the fire, because my goodness, they need it. Bye guys.